Hey guys, it's Tess here. I wanted to take this opportunity to make a video because I've had some inquiries about the best ways to curl your own hair, because in my salon, whenever I curl somebody else's hair, they always say, man, I always have so much trouble doing it myself, and it's hard for me to actually show them on their hair how to do their own hair. So I was gonna take this time to show you a few different ways to curl, both with the curling iron. I have a Marcel curling iron, and this one is my Old Faithful. I've had it since cosmetology school. It's a little different than your average curling iron. A lot of the times they have a spring where you squeeze it and it opens. But this one, it's just a little bit different, but the concept is still the same as far as curling with it. And then also I'm going to use my Babyliss flat iron and show you how to both curl with your flat iron and then curl with your curling iron. So far, what I've done with my hair is I washed it last night, so it's clean, but it's still about like 5 o'clock today, and I didn't do anything except for whenever it's still wet, I put some leave-in conditioner in it, like detangler and something to help with these ends. I'm a little bit past due for a haircut, but that's okay. Either way, it still gives you an idea that you can either, what I do sometimes, depends on what I'm going for, but what I will do sometimes is I will just rough dry it after I get out of the shower. Just get it dry and not using any round brushes or anything, and then that way it will be a little smoother. In my case, all I did is while it was drying, I would just run my fingers through it a lot, so then it'll kind of pull the natural curl out, and then it's not super tight curls like I would have normally. Regardless, like you can either air dry it or you can rough dry it just to get it dry. Like I said, I just let mine air dry last night before I went to sleep, and then this is what I woke up with. I mean, granted, I looked a little crazy because when I wake up, I just have like crazy hair everywhere. But I got lots of hair. Some of you may not have as much hair as I do, but either way, you'll get the concept because the same goes for everybody. So anyway, to section, what I usually do is I take like right above my ear, right above both ears, and I just move towards the back until my fingers touch, and then I pull that hair down, so then I have a good solid amount of hair back here. And then you can use whatever clip or a ponytail holder or whatever, like I have my handy dandy scrunchie, you could use that, or obviously I also have professional clips. Either way, just getting that hair out of your way, and clipping it up. Then I'll take a section. This is not a huge section. It really depends on what you're going for as far as how curly you want it to be. If you want it to be like really tight curls, but a lot of people I've seen really want that like loose, like almost not curled, kind of just a loose curl. The thing is that I want mine to last for a little while. I want it to stay. So I like to do a tighter curl, and as the days go by, I usually can wear it for like 3-4 days, kind of adjusting my hairstyle every day. But anyway, so I like to make smaller sections, but you can always take, like right around your temples, or the parietal ridge, which is that ridge that's right here. You can take that and use that hair that's down. But anyway, it just depends. But like I said, I want mine to last a few days, so I am going to take smaller sections. This is about as big a section. I'm going to use it's going to be flexible hold hairspray because I don't want it to be super hard. I'm not trying to get it to stay up and like I would do like an updo. This is just like a daily, everyday hair, thing. I'm using this Matrix Total Results, the high amplify. It's one that I sell here in my salon, but this one's the flexible hold. I also do have a firm hold, but I recommend a flexible hold, so then it's still movable, but it'll hold the curl. So what I always do is I definitely will spray before I curl. So I don't want to use a whole bunch of hairspray. I want to use just like one, we'll call it a veil of hairspray. So with the flat iron, right, I have mine, this particular flat iron goes up to 500 degrees. That's not necessary for most hair types. That's really hot. So I, usually will let it get as hot as it can and then turn it down maybe to like 400, and then let it cool off as I go. But I do want it to be hot, but just not like too hot, because we don't want to damage the hair. But anyway, so I will take the flat iron. Let me untangle my cords, because anybody that knows me knows my cords are always tangled up. Anyway, so then I'll take my flat iron, and then I will take the hair, clamp, twist once, and pull. And how slowly or quickly that you pull the hair is going to determine how curled that section is. So see, these are pretty tight curls again, but what I'm going to do after I'm completely done curling the whole thing, I'm going to go through with a brush, like boar bristle brush or a soft brush, or even a wet brush like this, and I'll brush through it and loosen up those curls, because I don't want them to be super tight, but I don't want them to be like barely there, because then the curl won't stay. So again, and it's always hard on your own self, because it's like an awkward angle and it's hard to see, but it's still possible, and that's why I wanted to make a video to show everybody that this is still possible. So again, we just do like a veil of hairspray. Then this is the section, it's about this big. Then I'll take my flat iron, point it downwards, and then I'm going to take it, clamp it, twist it, and pull. And some people might be freaked out about the steam that comes off. A lot of the time, anytime you have steam, is just the product that you're using, or product in your hair, or just natural moisture in your hair that's just steaming off, just like if you're boiling a pot of water or whatever. It's just steam. Now if it's actually smoking, first of all, you would smell the burnt hair. That's a very distinct smell, but that's a thing that you need to just stop what you're doing right there. And it's important, whenever you're using hot tools on your hair, you never want to leave it on very long. And we've all seen, well, if you haven't seen, just get on YouTube and look up hair fails or whatever. People using saying that they need to keep it on for 60 seconds or whatever. I'm like, what in the hell? Nobody needs to keep that amount of heat. No matter if your flat iron or curling iron gets that hot, you never want to leave that much heat on your hair for more than just a few seconds, less than 10 seconds. So anyway, so this side is my dominant side, but it's still a little bit awkward trying to twist it. So I will take it and take the flat iron, kind of help it with my other hand, and then I just kind of hold on to the tail. So you can see I'm going kind of slow, but not like really slow, because I want it to actually make a curl, right? And this is again with my flat iron. And so I take this section, point it downwards, twist it once, and pull it. And I just kind of like re-twirl it just to get it going the right direction. And I like my curls to be curled away from my face. Some people might like them curled towards your face, or even alternating, but just know if you curl them all together in the same direction, like on this side I curl backwards, that side I curl backwards, in the end all those curls are all going to fall together, so it'll make more of a wave. If you curl them the opposite directions, they're going to push off of each other, so they're going to be different you know, it's not going to be that kind of wavy look. It's going to be more of a curled look. So just know that. Anyway, that was the flat iron curls. See, they're pretty curly. I mean, and people will like laugh at me when I say you can curl with your flat iron if you don't have a curling iron, or if you, the only thing that is really hard to do is to flat iron with a curling iron. I mean, you can make it work, but it doesn't work so well. So, but anyway, it's still totally possible to flat iron, you know, use a flat iron to curl your hair, or, you know, use a curling iron. So again, I take about, I want to say it's about an inch and a half section above the section that I just did. And again, I clip, and so I'll show you, it's not perfect, nor do I ever expect it to be perfect, but you can see what the section looks like in the back. You know, I'm not using any tools or anything to section. I just use my fingers until they touch, and then pull the rest up. And then I twirl it into a little bun on the top, and then I clip it away so it's not in my way. And then I will, you know, find my sections. You can see the pieces that have not been curled, and then the pieces that have, so you just kind of, you know, figure out where they all are and pull them apart, right? So then I will do a section with the curling iron. So again, you take, you know, it's still only about an inch wide this way, and then it's about, I want to say 2.5, maybe 3 inches wide this way. And with the curling iron, there's more than one way to do it. So again, this is like this is called a Marcel. It's a little different than maybe, you know, you might have at home, but it still is the same concept. So no matter what, I mean, you're either going to be squeezing to hold open the clamp, or with mine, I use my fingers like this. But either way, like, you can use this, your regular curling iron as a curl stick, so to speak, and you just hold open the clamp, and you just take it, and each time I'm doing like a half a twist. And so what that does is it keeps the heat from touching all parts of the hair, so you won't have a really, really tight curl, as opposed to if you wrapped it like a ribbon, where it's perfectly wrapped around. This way I have not so tight of a curl. It's more, again, more of a wave, and once you're done with your whole head, you can brush it all out and make it more of a you know, more of a wave look that's not super, super tight curls, which I know that's kind of the trend right now, and that's what people are always asking me, like, how do I make my hair look like that? So yeah, that, and then also you could, again, upside down, use your curling iron, whether you have a clamp or not. You would take it, and as you go, you want to keep moving your curling iron and kind of moving the hair with it too, and just always paying attention to your tail, which is that bit of hair that's on the other side of the clamp. And this always happens to me. Like, I will get all the way to the end, and then somehow it'll fall out. Part of that is because I'm looking, you know, in this screen. I have a mirror right there, but I'm just trying to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. But anyway, so I like do a wrap around once like this, and then I close my clamp, and then I keep turning my curling iron and pulling it, you know, towards the end of the hair, and then leave it there for just a few seconds. The curling iron, most curling irons are really freaking hot, so you really don't want to leave that heat on your hair very long. But again, this is going to make more of a loose curl. See, it's still curled. It's not quite as curled as these ones underneath. The ones underneath with the flat iron are a little bit more curled at the ends. The curling iron curl is more curled, like kind of the midsection, and the ends aren't as curled. So it really depends on what you're going for. What's cool is that at the, you know, the ones underneath, you can kind of play with and practice with, and then once you figure out what your favorite curl is, then you can, you know, you can brush it all out, and these won't really matter too much to your total look. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and curl, and I'll do it like a sped up so you can watch me as I do it, but faster, and you can see like my technique. Sometimes I'll alternate between the curling iron and the flat iron, but that's not always very convenient for people. So you can use the curling iron, flat iron, or whatever. Also, you can take much bigger sections if you want to, if you really want it to be a super loose curl. And when I take the really big sections like this, I will take it and wrap it around like a ribbon. You kind of still need to get it all together, but wrap it around like a ribbon. And then hold it. And then just wait a second and then let it go. Again, this is going to be that super, like, almost not even there curl. When you have a bigger section, not as much of the heat is going to be touching the different pieces of the hair. So that's why it's not going to be as tight of a curl. And it might not last as long because it'll fall. And it really depends on your type of hair. Because I have really thick, coarse hair, my hair will hold the curl longer, but some people with really fine hair, sometimes it's even hard for you to get a curl in the first place. So that's why I suggested making smaller sections. Then you at least get it to stay for the rest of the day. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and curl it, the rest of it, and you can see how I do it, and give you a good idea of how this all works. And for my clients and friends and just general people that were curious how I curl my own hair, it'll just give you an idea. Alright guys, so I finished curling it all, and so now you can see they're pretty tight curls, which I'm fine with that, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do one last hairspray, right, and just to make sure that I got a good hold. So I just do like almost more than a veil this time, more of a good solid spray, and so that those curls can stay, and then I'll scrunch it up tight so that it kind of puts those curls together, makes them real tight. And then we'll let that dry for a second, then fix my part. Then I will take a brush like this one. It's a wet brush, so it's a wet brush pro. So I'll take this and I'll brush through it softly, just really softly, brushing all the way down to the end, just once or twice through each section. And so then you can see it's more of a wave here than it is curl. So I do that same thing throughout the whole, all of my hair. And so then again, we have more of a wave, which is more what I want. I want it to be more of a wave and not a super tight curl. And I think that this type of curl looks really pretty over a few days. It's more, it looks more Hollywood glam. If that's not what you're going for, I'll be making more videos so you can see other types of curls and other ways to style your hair and stuff. But this is just, my first real video of showing you like my technique of curling my own hair and showing you how to curl with the flat iron, because people always look at me crazy whenever I say, you can curl your own hair with a flat iron. It's a lot easier. And they're like, with a flat iron? So like, yeah, it's pretty versatile and it works. So anyway, then that's the end result look, at least on my hair. Again, you know, this could differ based on your hair type and, you know, all the little details and stuff, but again, it just keeps it like super loose curls, and they'll fall over time too, but they'll stay pretty good because one, we sprayed ahead of time. Like, you know, I sprayed all my hair before I even started recording, but spraying ahead of time, like before you curl, and then you know, curling in all the same direction will get you more of this, like what I always like to call like glam Hollywood style curl that's more of a wave. And then you can do tighter curls if you want it to be more of that like distinct curl. And here's a good look of the back so you can see what it looks like. But I like it to be super loose and light and not super curled. This is like what my personal preference is, but you can do it however you want to, and you could either use the curling iron or the flat iron to do it, whatever fits your preference better. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will make more videos, and hopefully I'll get better at making them and figuring out the best angles and all that. But for now, you know, thanks for watching my video. Mwah.